Good morning, and day 3 of the intermittent fasting challenge. You may or may not be involved, it doesn't matter. This video is going to be informative and super helpful for you anyway. But I would like to just go over some of the reasons why you would maybe decide to start consciously breathing. The overall benefits of it are like just huge, because it affects obviously every area of the body. It affects your lungs and our lungs are, again, if they're not used properly, they start to close down. A lot of people have COPD, and a lot of people believe that you can't reverse COPD, which is not strictly true. Hi Sean, yeah, Nikki told me that, great stuff. So when you think your lungs have got this phenomenal elasticity, and your breath, morning Nikki, your breath is your connection to life. And most of us are breathing up here, in and out at the very top end of the lungs. We're not engaging the abdominals at all. And we are not emptying the stale air out of our lungs. So there's so many reasons. The other thing is, morning Leslie, the other thing is that you start to alkalize and cleanse your blood, which is phenomenally important. If a lot of blood cancers right now that are caused by levels of toxicity that can come in at us from all angles because we've polluted the planet, let's face it. And in terms of prevention, morning Izzy, morning Mary, in terms of prevention, this has got to be one of the most powerful tools that we have within us that is free, and we need to get this into schools, because you know it's great finding it out at 60, but you really need to find this out at 5 years old so that you can practice and become, good morning Diane, you can become a master of your energy. Now Wim Hof, I just love, because people always want to put concepts on you. Oh, you can't do this and you can't do that and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And Wim Hof's like, well, no, you can't, but I can, because I am the master of my chemistry, of my biology. I can override systems that we previously believed to be set in stone, and now we're understanding. We thought the body was a big meat suit, and now we're understanding the energetic nature of the body, the invisible, the electromagnetic field. Our thoughts are electric in nature and our feelings are magnetic in nature. And we have the power to change our thoughts, our feelings, our perceptions, our beliefs when we choose. And, I think the biggest shocker for me was realising that beliefs are just a thought that you've had over and over and over again. And we tend to take the negative ones, we look at the worst case scenario and we think about it over and over again. And then what does the universe do? It shows up to prove us right. So it's all been driven by your beliefs. And my big passion with Scotland's Wild Medicine and the Heal Scotland movement is, I'm outraged that this information is not in our schools and not being shared, particularly at this time when we have this so-called pandemic. How to move from the victim, stay in your house, be terrified of other humans, stay away from bad people. That's the attitude which makes you a victim. It makes you feel as if you have no power over your body, and nothing could be further from the truth. They should be out there explaining you need to be outside in your garden, you need to get fresh air, you need to be in a forest if you can, walk in a forest, breathe in a forest. Instead of breathing in all the toxic petrochemical craps we've got in our house, get out into the forest and breathe in. We're taking a lot of our toxicity in through our nose and our mouth, apart from the stuff, obviously the food that we're putting in too. So it is really important that we take responsibility. Fear is not going to heal you, and it's not going to stop you getting sick. What is going to stop you getting sick is realising that if you get sick, you can get better. And no matter what age you are, because there is this whole thing about, well, you're older, it's wear and tear. Bullshit. You'll start using this breath. You can replenish and regenerate anything in your body. You may not want to, you may not have the desire to, you may not have the energy or the commitment to it. Morning, Sheena. Morning, Susan. So it's up to you to educate yourself, because this is not going to come in via the BBC, this information. It's going to come into you through Scotland's Wild Medicine. There's tons of research out there of how we can make ourselves well. Buying into the fear will only depress your immune system. It's like driving your car up the road on first gear for hours and hours on end. What do you think is going to happen? That fight or flight fear response is only designed to be used to get us out of danger and then come back into rest, restore and repair. So the breath is quite simply the fastest and easiest way. There's other ways you can do it, for sure. But breathing, you don't need to go into the story. All you need to identify is, I'm feeling stress in the body. You are not the stress. Your body has excreted chemistry to give you a feeling, because the body, you have accidentally told the body there's danger out there by thinking negative, fearful thoughts. They might have the virus. Oh, they're having a party. Oh, they did this, they did that, they did that. Guess whose cells get affected by that thinking? Yours. Now, I'm not saying don't take care. Do what you need to do to feel safe. But fear, fear, fear and snitching only affects your body. So what we need to do is we need to let go of the fear and the stress, stop behaving as if there's a big, big threat out there, and really get calm and make decisions from a place of love and peace. And that may be say, well, look, do you mind doing this because it makes me feel safer? But to be nasty and to be, putting other people in trouble really is not the way ahead for us humans at this time in this planet. We need to unite and help each other. There's a lot of people suffering dreadfully out there. So please be mindful. Share these videos. Teach them how to breathe. What happens is, if you're a habitual worrier or bitcher or gossip, and we've all got it in us, let's face it, then that's your habit. It's just what you do. Talk about people, badmouth everybody and everything, right? But now we're understanding, okay, right, that's not really helpful. And trust me, I've done my fair share of it in this last year. So now we're like, right, okay, all that happens when I go into these negative narratives and judging people, judging others, is that my cells will contract, and I will change my own chemistry, and I will start to slowly take myself out the rest, repair, restore mode, where I can think on solutions. And all I'm going to do when I'm down here in this contracted, moaning, complaining state is see problems. So as soon as you let go of the negative feeling and the cellular contraction and darkness, solutions appear. And that's where we have to get to in our communities. I think we have to understand that the politicians aren't coming to save us. We, the people in our communities, have to make sure that we're growing food, that they're not destroying our land, the land that we need to stay alive and healthy. Getting together in groups to breathe and meditate and swim and have fun, go for walks in the forest. We need to do that. We, the people, need to do that. And this book is going to bring you the information and the understanding as to why it's so powerful. You don't need a scientist to tell you it feels nice to walk in a forest. You don't need a scientist to tell you that if you jump in the sea and come out, you feel really rejuvenated. But we've got the science. So if you need the science because you're super cynical and you want somebody else to prove it before you try it, then it's all going to be there for you, all the science that you need. But if the one thing that you can do for your cells, for your family cells, and for everybody that you know, is to learn how to breathe consciously to change everything in the body. So let's just go over what I'm going to show you today is a combination, because I like to mix things up just to get the details people going. It's going to be a combination between the breath of fire and bellow breath. And what we're going to be doing is really massaging the internal organs with our muscular system and our intention and attention. So we're going to be breathing in so that the belly's full up like a wee balloon. Mine's like a big balloon these days. And then breathing out quickly, like the bellows, just like really pushing the breath out. I'm going to go into that in a second. But why would you do this? And why would you do it on a daily basis? You're going to have a feeling and an experience today when you do this with me, okay? But let me tell you what's happening. The blood starts to be alkalized, okay? The body, the lymphatic system, when you start to do that very conscious, powerful breathing, the lymphatic system will displace the toxicity, any toxins that you've accidentally eaten or drank or breathed in or thought, and that goes into the bloodstream, and the blood starts to detox, and you drink plenty of water, and you are going to get rid of all the toxicity through your urine or through your breath, because that's another way to detox, is by breathing. Toxicity can come out in the breath. You're going to alkalize. So anybody who knows about the alkali diet is that disease cannot live in an alkalized environment. So if you do this regularly, as in daily, and just start with a couple of minutes, you will start to get stronger in your abdomen. Your internal organs are getting this daily massage. So what happens is you digest your food better. All these microbiomes are in there. You're actually starting to balance all of this out. The enzymes, if you're eating good food that's got enzymes in it, the body, you're now helping the body to either get rid of stuff that was there since yesterday or the day before or the year before, because we know stuff can stay in there. And you're really helping the body to digest. It's the digestive fire, they call it in yoga. So when you really create that fire in your belly, then you're assisting the body, you're changing the body temperature. So it's just you start to heat up. Anything that's not meant to be there gets destroyed and gets excreted through the body. So after you do this, a really good idea to drink plenty of water. What else happens? As Janice was saying the other day, 70%, it might be 71, it might be 65, it doesn't matter. A very large proportion of your health is being dictated by your gut, because your microbiome is completely out of balance. There can be parasites, bacteria and fungus. Did you know that we have 10 times more microbes living on us than we do have cells? And we've got about 60 to 80 trillion cells. So there's a lot of stuff going on here that you have no idea. And we've been beating ourselves up going, oh, I don't have the willpower, oh, I should be doing the shooting on yourself and giving ourselves a hard time, just quite simply because we had no idea how the body works. No idea. We actually live in this thing, and then we rock up at a doctor's surgery and we say, we've got this is happening, my skin, my energy, I've got lumps, I've got bumps, and we expect somebody else to fix it. Think about that. Because we didn't even know that we were influencing it with our words, our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, our perceptions, our behaviours, the people around us. All of that is having an impact on these cells and these microbes that make up us. Now, I don't want to scare you, because this is not scary at all. It's really, really super exciting. Because once you start to understand, again, go back to what Janice was telling us on Monday, go back and watch that video, you'll learn tons. She was saying about how we have to feed the microbiome that we want. So it's not rocket science, tons and tons of vegetables. Just put as many vegetables into your diet and some nice bits of fruit. Season. I mean, obviously at this time of year in Scotland, there's not really a lot of fruit in season, but there'll be stuff that you can get in the supermarket. Try and buy local, and keep it as fresh as possible. A lot of the food we're getting now has been out the ground or off the tree for weeks and months. And what we're designed to do is just actually go out into the garden and pick our food, or into the forest and eat it live off the tree. Can you imagine the difference in the nutrition? Because the whole photosynthesis and the whole cycle and signalling system was uninterrupted by greedy, silly humans. Okay, so when we're doing this breathing, we're affecting the microbiome. Your microbiome's changing all the time, and you maybe didn't realise that. I certainly never realised it. Stress, which we carry here, and in terms of trauma from the past, which a lot of us are carrying, some way worse than others, I understand that, but we carry that in our lower. The familial stuff is lower in the abdomen, around the sacral chakra. So as soon as you start to move this part of the body, because the body is holding the score. And the way that you can release yesterday's garbage is to breathe out and breathe and breathe and breathe and consciously let go of everything that is no longer serving you. Because we have these memories. Okay, that's a memory. And the memory can come in, but if the memory has a painful electrical hook on it, every time we think of that thing, we electrocute ourselves. That's what happens. So what we do when we're letting go and we're breathing is we unhook the pain from the memory. We don't forget. We just don't suffer through the memories. And when you can unhook the electrical charge of all the memories in your hard drive, i.e. your subconscious mind, then you will stop suffering. How does that sound? And how do we let go with our intention? We just repeat, because we've all, I mean, according to Dr. Bradley Nelson, we can have 200 to 300, I'm pretty sure I had more like 2,000 to 3,000 negative perceptions held in my body, and hurts, betrayals, you know, all of the stuff that you get being human, because we're emotional beings and we came here to experience all that. So let's not bump our gums about it any longer. Take responsibility for where we're at. You may want to know why you got where you are. As far as I can see, it doesn't really matter. What matters is now, in this moment, learning this superpower. And fasting is another superpower. If you're joining in the fasting, this is a brilliant thing to put into your day. You will 100% feel better. There is just no doubt about it. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to be teaching, because when you practice this, you'll get good at it. Simple as. Like you practice anything. You put your full attention at it. I want to be free. I want to be free from the past. I want to be free to create all the things that my heart desires, but all the programming stopping me from speaking my truth and doing what I really would love to do. So let's get on with the breath. I think that's enough reasons I've given you. Anyway, you will start to heal when you do this, for sure. Now, somebody messaged me yesterday saying that one of their friends did a 3-day fast and a lot of the trauma from childhood came up. That is absolutely guaranteed when you start to do this work. When you create cellular expansion, think about it. Things that are trapped in your cells will get out and they will travel through the body and the mind. And sometimes you just feel it and you let it go. You just don't get involved in the story. It's just the past. Other times you might relive. So, you know, if you're struggling with anything, just let me know. I will help you. There's nothing to be scared of here except the past. And what happens is when you just welcome the past and just let it go, the more open you can stay, the faster and easier it is for information to leave. I always say to people, it's like open the door and if you wanted people to leave your house, you would just open the door and let them out the door. You wouldn't expect them to try and escape up the chimney or break through the windows. That's what we are doing. We're saying it's okay now. It takes courage to do this work, right? It really does, because you have to take your power back. There's nobody else can do it for you, only you. No drugs, no nothing. Plant medicine, yes. That's the safest way to do it, where you can really let go and leave the past behind. And when you leave the past behind, the body gets a huge, huge emotional, mental and spiritual and physical space to do what it will always, always, always do for you, and that is rebalance and harmonise. But you need to take enough straws off the camel's back, okay? Because it's always a straw that breaks our camel's back in terms of our health and our happiness. You're just going along and you're just like, oh, I'm just about staying on top of it, and it's a challenging time right now, and then something happens, boom, bang, and you're crying, you're exhausted, you have to go to your bed, you know, the body just starts like, I've had enough of you. So, without any more ado, let's talk about this breath that we're just going to make up. You could call it whatever you want. It's a combination between the breath of fire and the bellow breath. Now, like everything, we've turned everything into a product so that we can sell it. I'm not selling you anything here. Go onto YouTube and research this. There's tons and tons of fascinating information. Go and join Soma Breath. Neeraj is incredible, gives away a huge amount of powerful information. As soon as you really, fully, truly understand the power of this, you will do it. You will not have to think twice. Any feeling that's in your body, you'll just automatically get in and release it. Emotions, energy in motion. If you do not like how you feel, change it. And I'm telling you and teaching you how to do that. So you might have to practice for a little bit. You might have to breathe a bit longer if it's something that's really painful, or if you're in a lot of fear, because a lot of people are scared that their loved ones are going to die right now. So, you know, but the fear doesn't stop the thing from happening. The fear just means that you will suffer until the things that are going to happen. So there's never, ever a good reason to stay in fear. It's never going to help you. And if you have, like we nursed my mum last year, and it's tough, but if you are in that position caring for somebody, these techniques will really help you be present instead of going away into the future or away into the past. Okay, so what we're going to do is just breathe in a normal belly breath. For this, you want your back to be nice and straight. Now I'm going to get you to sit up to do this because you'll understand when we get into it. So make sure that if you... I keep saying this because you can't pass out doing this stuff if you really give it laldy. Most people won't, but I'm just warning you to be mindful that in case you fall over. And I will have to stop when I'm teaching you because I'll go into that lightheadedness very quickly. But I like that feeling because I know that's my cells starting to lighten and brighten, be oxygenated and expand. You know, they say disease can't live in an oxygenated environment either. So breathing and oxygenating your cells. Some people go and pay to get oxygen therapy. All the things that we're paying for, we now realise we can do ourselves. So just be mindful. If you start to feel a bit lightheaded, you can stop. So you're just going to breathe in. Fill the belly right out. Get the belly out as full as you can. And then as you breathe out, you're going to put a bit of effort into it. Okay, so just do that. It's quite weird. Get a bit of tissue, actually, because you might need it. Your nose, again, remember we're practising in and out through the nose, if you possibly can. And even if it sounds all clogged up and not very nice, keep doing it because you're reopening that pathway. Nose for breathing, mouth for eating. Okay? So breathing in again. Belly right out, and then just like the bellows, pull the belly in and breathe out through the nose. So all the effort is going into the out breath, okay? Let's just do a few before we go into the exercise. Because when I started this, it's almost a bit like doing that. It's a wee bit like, am I doing this right? Is my belly going in? Is my belly going out? So when you breathe in, breathe the belly right full. Okay, you got that. So really focusing in on the out breath. So, and you're pulling all your abdominal muscles into the back of your back, the spine in your back. Okay, try 3. So breathe in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Okay. Now, if you do the breath of fire, if you do any yoga or kundalini especially, the breath of fire is the kind of main breath that you'll do. And you'll do between 30 and 50 of these. They recommend to do between 1 and 3 minutes to start off with. Again, it's like going out for a run. You don't go out and try and run, 2 hours when you've never run before. You just do a little bit and you build your muscles up slowly. And what I highly recommend is start with a little bit. Say a minute a day. That's doable for all of us. Or if you want to go to 3 minutes there, I'm going to do 3 minutes a day. If you've been breathing consciously for longer, go to 15 minutes. And there's loads of different ways you can do it, which we'll talk about in another video. This one really is for this combination of the breath of fire and the bellows breath. Because what we're wanting to do is really massage these internal organs, really utilise the nose again, Remember, if you've not been breathing through your nose in and out, you need to retrain the body to do that. It takes much more effort to breathe in and out through your nose. So again, just do it mindfully when you're doing your breathing exercises and gently get yourself back to becoming a nose breather. Okay? So, and then we're detoxing the blood. What also happens is we oxygenate the brain. You'll start to feel it. You'll start to feel lighter. The cells are all starting to get literally lighter and brighter and more expanded. The cell membrane starts to open up, and the information can flow, and the signalling system opens up, and it's clear for the body to do what it needs to do. It's very much like think of the difference between a stagnant pond in the summer and a flowing stream. We become a stagnant pond if we don't breathe and exercise and move and literally stuff that's coming in the body, getting it out. So that's what we're trying to do with it. We're not trying to do it, that's what we're doing with this breath. Okay, so let's just do another 3. So breathe in, belly all the way out, and pull the abdominals in and breathe out. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Now, to get really good at the breath of fire, you speed that up a lot faster than that. You're looking to do about 2 to 3 a second, but trust me, that takes a lot of practice. Maybe if you've done a lot of yoga and you do a lot of yoga, that's no problem for you, but I'm talking to the people that are just learning, really. So keep it a bit slower and make sure you've got your technique right, okay? And pay attention into your third eye, because this is where you start to see things with your eyes closed. So do this with your eyes closed and really focus in here on your third eye, okay? And as you start to do this, you'll start to oxygenate the cells, alkalize the blood. You're really helping the digestive system, and just pay attention inside the body. What thoughts come up, what feelings, maybe tingling, maybe a bit lightheaded, maybe you want to stop, maybe resistance will come in, because what your body will do is want to try and protect you. And if you breathe really consciously, then you're overriding that protection system, because you're saying, no, it's time for me to move past my pain and to let go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do it for, well, until I tell you to stop. It's not going to be very long, okay? And then we're going to sit, once we've done this breath for maybe 30 times, what I'm going to get you to do is just sit quietly with your eyes closed and pay attention to the reset that will be happening in your body, in your cells. And I'm going to just give you a few affirmations to just gently say to yourself, I am letting go of everything that no longer serves me. I allow myself to let go of all past hurts and disappointments. I am tapping in to my inner intelligence, my intuition. Because your intuition is your other superpower. But most of us, either we can't hear it or we ignore it. I've done that before. Or we just don't trust it. We think, I think that so many other points of view and opinions that we can't really feel safe with our own intuition. But that's all about to change. Okay. So you can put your Peter pointer and thumb together and just have them on your knees. Or you can do whatever finger you want. Go with your intuition. And then we're going to do the breath of fire. We're going to do about 30, okay? And then I'm going to get you just to sit quietly with your eyes closed and observe your body healing itself, okay? So just do it along with me. Okay, breathe all the way in. Tighten down your pelvic floor muscles, your abdominals, your chest, and squeeze the energy up to your head. Hold it. Keep your pelvic floor muscle tight. And let it go. Okay, now just sit and observe. What can you feel there? Close your eyes and really come into these cells. Take your attention to your third eye, the middle of your forehead. And take your attention down your torso, down your body. Feel what the cells are doing. Don't judge. Just allow. And as you just affirm to yourself, I'm letting go of anything that no longer serves me. I allow myself to release past hurts and traumas. I am open to the miracle of healing myself. I allow my cells to expand and release. I allow my vibration to rise. I allow myself to trust my cells and my innate power to heal. I am getting lighter, brighter, more joyful, more confident. I am enough. I'm letting go of all limiting beliefs that no longer serve me. Now. Okay, so you can see that was a very short exercise. It will boost your metabolism, aid your digestion, raise your energy levels, your clarity for today. So instead of having a coffee, try to do that instead. Don't try, just do that instead and feel the difference. And just get used to going into the body and observing. Do you feel any different from before we started? And how you guiding yourself, your thoughts may be more positive, more helpful. Okay, so what we'll do just before we finish is we're going to do a humming exercise, and what we know about humming is it increases your nitric oxide levels by 15%, which just puts your blood pressure down and puts your heart and your brain into coherence if they're not already there. Okay, so a nice deep breath in. And just hum. Okay, again, we'll do it again. You don't need to keep up time with me, just do it in your own time. And as you're humming, feel that vibration go through your cells. And as you're feeling that vibration, just affirm, I'm letting go. I'm letting go. There may be a person that you've been in conflict with or a situation or whatever. Just let go of all the suffering and pain. Okay, so breathing in. Just keep going, feel the vibration, release the past, release into peace. Okay, that feels so nice. So you're just really looking after the cells, really taking control, taking charge of what's happening in the body instead of being a victim and allowing the body just to follow mindless instructions. You're back, you're owning your free will, and you're letting go of what no longer serves you. And if fasting is a challenge for you, if maybe you're just hovering in the edges, it is another power, and you can use your breath work to really help you through any resistance that will come up. Food is possibly the thing that we're using, the biggest thing that we're using to destroy our health, and we don't really understand the chemistry and the subconscious behaviours and patterns. So it's up to us to really get in there. And this stuff works. This is neuroscience. It's not like, well, maybe it would work for you, but it wouldn't work for me. It works, but nobody else can do it for you. Has to be you. Absolutely has to be you. So fasting is amazing. Yes, absolutely. The level of clarity and space you'll get when you take food out the equation is phenomenal. And it's free. And you know how I like things to be free. Okay, guys, once again, thank you for your participation. Please spread the word. Download our free app. Join our YouTube channels. All these videos go onto YouTube and you can go back, learn more, practice, 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 practice makes perfection. How much do you want it? How much do you want to be free? Yeah, so my next project is that we all start building earthships here. Anyway, I'm having a great time with you guys, and I really appreciate the support and the feedback. Please spread the word. That's the one thing you can do for me to really help. And I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Ciao.